Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Deep Images. We are continuing this theme on demons, devils, and black magic. And we've been covering some really unhallowed ground here and probably slaying some sacred cows. So we're going to continue. My lineup today is Chris Gilpin, C.F. Roberts, Keith Howell, Justin Cotton, and Rhiannon Clark, who's going to tell us about her pick for this subject. Yay.
All right. So I picked Constantine. It's a movie from 2005, and it's starring Keanu Reeves, and it's kind of a movie about good and evil, light and dark, and demons and angels, and the devil and God, and the sort of the balance between the two of the light and the dark.
You covered
And
all the bases for our topic.
Yeah.
yeah, knock them out of the park.
Checking all the boxes.
Ticking them all. But yeah, I heard that Constantine was it Henry? You were saying was it Constantine was actually based upon novels, graphic
Uh,
novels?
No, he was a
yeah.
comic book character created by Alan
Yeah.
Moore and
Oh, cool.
Steve
Okay.
Bissett. The He was a supporting character in Swamp Thing in the mid
Yeah.
'80s. He got his own series, which wasn't called Constantine; it was called Hellblazer. They never made a movie called Hellblazer because, well, see, it's funny. The comic book was supposed to be called Hellraiser, and then the Hellraiser movie came out. So DC changed their mind at the last minute, made it Hellblazer. Conversely, when it's time to make it into a movie, they thought Hellblazer sounded like they were imitating Hellraiser when it was always the other way around. So they called it Constantine instead. So, and yeah, he had his own book for many years, like almost all the super high award winning British writers either cut their teeth on it or had a run, and it was won 5 million
And
words.
interestingly enough, the comic book version of Constantine is very different visually than Keanu Reeves, because he was modeled on Sting, his look,
Originally, he
and
was
Yeah,
modeled on Sting.
staying kind of
originally modeled on Sting with
on punk.
a Liverpoolian accent,
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be pronounced Constantine, not Constantine. That's
Oh,
Americanized, bastardized version that we have.
I'm an American bastard. I'm gonna call it Constantine. But yeah, as the series went on, the comic book it got deep into him,
Yeah.
and he aged in real time, unlike a lot of characters. And it turned out he had been in the punk rock movement in the late '70s, like Sting, but his personality and looks started diverting quite a bit. And
Yeah.
you went through a bunch of different iterations, but and it was really one of the more hardcore books. I
but
mean,
Sting is yeah, but Sting is aging backwards from just Gilda.
yeah, I mean the thing, Bissett
I mean,
basing him after Sting was kind of silly because Sting was already like kind of a multi-platinum sellout. I mean, I think he did it just to be cute more than anything else.
it
I
was more
mean,
like Billy Idol, more like Billy
Billy
Idol,
Idol would have
maybe.
slightly been slightly more appropriate. Yeah, I agree with that. So in a way, I think they did it kind of as a joke. Maybe they didn't think this character was going to take off.
Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, he was just supposed to be, just one of many characters that pop in and out of
I
something.
sold his first appearance for $200 on eBay last year.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, the year before. I wish it'd been last year. I needed it last year. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's the background. Yeah,
But yeah, but the movie's great. Go on about that movie though.
yeah. Going on about the
Yeah,
movie.
I yeah, no worries. I just wanted to, include the origins here before I began. And Keanu Reeves is the star of the show, and uh, just diving out of the Matrix. So there's sort of a Matrix essence, Matrix kind of style vibe about this movie, kind of like late '90s kind of sort of style in the movies, kind of suaveness, but like there's a darkness to the movie,
Hmm.
and it has a great cast. It has a great cast.
Hmm.
Um, Keanu Reeves stars along Rachel Weisz, and I think she's really beautiful, very natural,
Yeah.
beautiful,
Yeah.
sort of innocent looking woman. Something mysterious about her, like she's an introvert kind of feeling. You know,
Hmm.
you can see a lot goes on underneath the surface of this a lady, and I think that pair play off of each other really beautifully. Keanu Reeves and Rachel Weisz together, and Keanu Reeves, his character John Constantine, it's kind of like a psychic who sees devils and half breeds. There's half breeds on the planet, half human, half devil, or half human, half angel. And Constantine, he's kind of he sees his gift as a sort of a curse, you know. And I guess so, like anybody who's like an empath or a psychic would have reports to kind of feeling like their gifts are like a curse. So even in real life, there's sort of that. I feel like that's it's kind of a really nice movie for the topic of having extrasensory perception and whether or not, like, you know, because people usually either how can they actually handle that. A lot of people are like locked up in loony bins because they have extrasensory ability, and I think this movie Constantine really touches upon that particular subject. Let's see. Oh yeah, Shia LaBeouf is in the movie as well, like little young Shia LaBeouf is in the movie. Yeah, he plays Constantine's driver, and he's so young. And Constantine, he's a demon hunter, and his job is to cast demons back into hell. And at the start of the movie, basically they're looking for, it says, the spear of destiny, which was the spear that was stuck into Jesus's side. I think they're looking for this particular spear, and it says at the start of the movie, he who possesses the spear of destiny holds the fate of the world in his hands. The spear of destiny has been missing since the end of World War II. So this whereas you're hurtled into Mexico, and there's this character, and he's possessed, and he finds the spear, and possessed, this character, this Mexican guy, he finds the spear and he brings it to Los Angeles. Like, because if people are vulnerable and they're able to be possessed, like they're like puppets basically. Anybody who's possessed is like a puppet of the devil, basically.
Like voodoo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I wrote Los Angeles girl possessed, scary AF. But yeah, so there was that's what I wrote. So we're hurtled into Los Angeles, and there's a girl, and she's literally on the ceiling freaking out, screaming. And I got chills seeing this girl on the ceiling, like upside down.
Yeah, that exorcism scene is it's really tight, really good.
It is. It's like, I can imagine if someone was possessed, I can imagine that's what it would look like or whatever. And it's Keanu Reeves comes in, they tie the girl to the bed. Keanu Reeves is called in. Constantine, he's the hero. He's coming in. He has these sort of sigils, or these sigils on a key ring type thing, and he brings the sigil up to the light to kind of find the sigil that matches the one that will trigger the demon to come out of the girl. And so he takes the sigil and he places the sigil on the girl's head, and it's like,
wow,
sort of like she like burns or whatever. It's like, and we think that he's gotten the right sigil to bring the soldier demon out of the girl, but it's a particularly vicious demon, and the demons are starting to get angry because the demons want into Earth. I think that's the story, that the demons want in to Earth, and so they're particularly more violent these days than they've ever been, and that's Constantine saying that they're pretty vicious.
Is it like one of those things like the that they use in Lovecraft and Doctor Strange and everything? You know, the walls between our reality and theirs are getting thinner and thinner at certain times,
right?
Or certain,
That's it. Well, yeah, that's it. but it's kind of they're coming through people, so they're trying to get through. So they're coming through people from hell, through people,
Okay.
and I love the fact that they actually choose to take a mirror because mirrors usually and the light and mirrors. Demons do not like mirrors. They don't like to see themselves, and they do not like the light. So the fact that they took a mirror to take the demon out of the girl, I was like, very clever, very clever. So they grab this mirror, and then Constantine is whispering lots of sort of Latin, sort of holy speak, and it's very shamanistic, the way it draws from a lot of shamanistic sort of knowledge about how to kind of vanquish demons and things. So he's speaking Latin to this girl, and then the demon just jumps out of the girl and into the mirror, and then we see the demons, and they're very scary. I think they're kind of scary. Visually, they're kind of
demons are scary. That's one lesson you should take away from this series, viewers.
Sure.
Demons are scary. They are.
And just say no, like Bill said.
Yeah, indeed. Don't entertain them.
Right.
Yeah. So they grab the demon, goes into the mirror, and then they throw the mirror out the window, and it smashes, and then the demon goes back into hell. So we see that John Constantine is very good at what he does, but we also see that he's getting a bit worried because the demons look like they're getting stronger than they've been before. Then we get introduced to Shia LaBeouf. He's outside in the car. He's the sort of guy who shadows John Constantine. His name is Chaz. His name is Chaz in the movie, and he looks up to Constantine, and it's like an apprentice basically. And John Constantine. I was just going to say that he smokes. So he's not a perfect guy. So he's a demon hunter who smokes.
He does a lot of stuff.
Chain smoker.
Yeah, he's a chain
smoker, drinker.
Yeah, kind of bitter as well. Very bitter guy.
Oh yeah,
self-destructive, you would call it.
Well, the incongruity of his character has always been that he seems like this just cynical, drunk, chain smoking, womanizing bloke, you could counter in a pub who's kind of angry and bitter ex-punk rocker, but he just happens to know all these insane occult skills that can do like all this shit, and it's like secondhand to him. You wouldn't expect it when you meet him.
But the thing that's fun about it is he's battling demons literally. He's also battling demons constantly within himself.
Yes.
And I think that's the cigarettes, the drinking, the promiscuousness, whatever that you want to see. That's the internal battle that he's fighting that we also see on the external battle. It's just a cool concept.
If you're ever interested, Rhiannon, I'll recommend you some good runs of his comics to read. I think you'd enjoy them.
Oh, cool.
So continue. We want to hear about this movie. What does Rachel Weisz do? I forgot.
Her name is Angela in the movie. Angela Dodson, I think. Yeah, and basically she's kind of cop. I think she's a cop. She's got a twin, and she dreams of her twin in the night, and her twin is in a mental institute, I think. And then her twin leaps off a building and smashes through a ceiling and into a swimming pool. And they find her the next day. The way twins are connected to their other twin, and so they feel what's happening with their twin. So she feels something happening with her twin, and then they find her dead. And so Angela, she's kind of freaking out. She kind of doesn't want to believe that her sister committed suicide. She wants to believe that her sister was murdered. yeah, she just doesn't want to believe that her sister
Well, I think isn't that
killed
rooted
herself.
in her Catholicism, because if she killed herself, then she can't go to heaven, and that's her concern
Yes,
and worry. Yeah,
yes, that is exactly it, Keith.
yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, she's afraid that her sister, the thought of her sister burning in hell for
Mhm.
eternity or whatever, and she meets Constantine, and he
So
tells
good.
her basically, yeah, well, she's trying to constantly tell him that that she's been kind of murdered or whatever, but no, Constantine kind of like pulls it out of her that no, I think that your sister is actually in hell, and then they go and actually go to hell. Constantine goes to hell to see if she's actually in hell, and I just have to say that your cat is really, really cute.
Mhm. Yeah.
I had to stop to say that your cat is adorable, and
Who's
every now
cat?
and again I see the little tail.
He's being a very bad boy right at the moment.
What's his name?
Presto.
Oh yeah,
Presto. Oh,
we've met him on the channel before.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mine isn't going to make a cameo tonight. I thought he was going to.
He's normally a little shyer
pets.
than this.
You'd need to give him a little spotlight because you're in such darkness. You'd have to put a little spot on him.
Most deaf.
Yeah. But yeah. So we see why I find the scene where he actually, speaking of cats, that's a perfect opportunity to segue into the fact that Angela has a cat, and John Constantine goes to Angela's house and to look for her sister Isabel. Basically, her sister's name is Isabel, and he says that cats are like half in, half out of reality. So they're in Earth, but they're also in the spiritual realm as well. So he takes Isabel's cat and stares into the eyes of her cat, which is a gorgeous cat, great cat, big eyes, green eyes, and stares into the cat's eyes. It's gorgeous, yeah. And then his feet is in water because apparently water is a good lubricant. Apparently, that's a spiritual lubricant.
Mhm.
But and yeah, that's what they said. And then so basically, he's staring into the eyes of the cat, and then the water starts boiling because he's going into hell or whatever. And he sees Isabel in hell, and she gives him her wrist bracelet from when she was basically in a psych ward.
Mm.
And so he pulls this bracelet out of hell, and it's kind of like proof to Rachel Weisz's character that there is something beyond that which she can see, you know. And I just want to focus on the fact that John Constantine's character actually pulls it out of Rachel Weisz's character that she well should I reveal this now?
Go for it.
Or should I say it later? But basically that her sister has spiritual gifts, and that her spiritual gifts ended up making her go crazy, and then she killed herself because she couldn't handle her spiritual gifts.
Okay.
But she basically, John Constantine, because he has spiritual gifts and he's actually really comfortable with them, he ends up pulling them out of Rachel Weisz's character, and then she's able to admit that she has those gifts too that her sister has, but she was blocking them because she was afraid that she was going to be put into a loony bin, which happens to a lot of people when they admit that they have special gifts. It's like you're crazy, yeah, and like you're gaslit or whatever, and forced to go on medication. And I think that the movie, that's what I love about this movie actually, was that whole addressing of the fact that people with special gifts are like
Right.
often medicated up to the eye, up the gills or whatever, and
Mhm.
told that what they're seeing is real or whatever, and so then they begin to fear their gift and then commit suicide, which is happens quite often, and I think is probably the cause of schizophrenia. To be honest,
Hmm.
I think, and that's my theory anyway. But yeah. So another character in this movie is Tilda Swinton's character, and she plays Gabriel, and she's amazing because she's sort of like really ethereal. She's otherworldly. Like I love Tilda Swinton and everything that she does.
Yeah.
She's such an unusual looking woman. She's very androgynous. You know, um, so that makes her perfect to play an angel. So she plays Gabriel, and Gabriel's a bit of an asshole, I think.
Yeah.
I think Gabriel's a bit of an asshole in this movie, and it's like just because I'm going to say they,
Yeah.
Gabriel, gender neutral, is it, just because they are an angel doesn't mean that they're a good angel, shall we
Right.
say? It was a very shadowy angel, who kind of it really enjoyed being sort of like a little bit righteous to John Constantine, and like gets up in his face, and John Constantine is being vulnerable with Gabriel and saying, why am I going to die, and why am I going to hell, and all of these things. And Tilda Swinton's character is like, well, really patronizing. Well, you smoked like 30 cigarettes a day for like since you were from your 16 to the 8 to now, for years, 30 cigarettes a day or whatever. And also you killed because of the life you took. And then they don't say for ages what life he took.
Mhm.
And but I just want to say Tilda Swinton with so much glee, like Gabriel, the character, goes up to Constantine and is like, "You're fucked." Basically, you're fucked.
Yep.
But just
You're
the
fucked.
joy, you're fucked. Basically, but the joy that Gabriel takes in saying that is just like kind of sadistic almost, which is
Yes.
kind of ironic. Did you notice that, Keith? Did you
Oh
pick
yeah.
that up?
Yeah. She's off her or they are off their rocker.
They are.
Yeah.
They're demented, yeah. Absolutely demented. A demented angel, absolutely.
Right. Well, I mean, where
Yeah.
in the mythology that this movie operates in, we've got fallen angels. I mean,
Angels are fearsome in the DC cosmology.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we're talking Christian demonology basically here, and so it operates pretty solidly within Orthodox Christian demonology. The idea that demons are craving our skin basically because they can never touch anything. They're jealous of human beings because human beings can experience carnal pleasure, physical touch, all of that. They can never have that unless they're within us, that kind of thing. So they're always looking for it within that idea. They're always looking. They're always waiting for an opportunity to take our skin,
Swoop in.
basically. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Right.
I love that, Keith. That was really
Yeah.
creepy, but really
Yeah.
evocative. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Um, oh
Brianna,
yeah, okay. Yeah.
don't forget to mention a great Hammy performance by Peter Stormare
Oh yeah.
as the devil. I love
Oh yeah.
when he came in.
Absolutely.
He was great.
That's the very end, though. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
very
yeah.
end.
Yeah. He was
That's
great.
the very end. But I will mention that
A great cinematic entrance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Indeed. I mean, the devil is dark, but I think the devil also has a sense of humor.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
and he's still
Absolutely.
in his Luciferian white outfit as well.
Indeed.
Mhm.
Um, but I think they head to the club. After, I think there was another scene where Keanu Reeves is fighting a demon, and it's just really intense. And then also he shows Rachel Weisz's character, um, Angela, that demons are real as well. So she sees demons as well. That's another element of it. So she's more and more and more she's beginning to believe in what she couldn't see, what she was blocking. So but anyway, Keanu Reeves' character John Constantine heads to the club, and he meets a character called Midnight. And I'm not sure what Midnight. Does anybody remember Midnight? I
Yeah,
don't know
Papa
who he
Midnight.
was.
I remember from
Papa
the
Midnight.
comics, but not.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Well,
I think pretty accurate in personality and all that, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
was he a demon or was he an
No.
angel?
Oh,
I'm
no, no, no.
confused
He's
about
like
him.
no. Papa Midnight is he's like Johnny the Shoeshine Boy for demon hunters. He's the guy you go to for the potions that you need and the info that you need and all that. But as with all magic, it comes with a price. So, I give you this, but you're going to have to exchange. There's got to be an exchange of some kind,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm. Oh yes, and so yeah, then they meet this guy called Balthasar, and who's definitely a demon. He's definitely a
Mhm.
demon.
Here. And
Um,
have a quick
ooh,
tidy up and I think I'll still be going
Like
for
some demons are
uh-huh,
possessing our show. I keep hearing these voices.
indeed,
Okay.
disembodied voices.
Yes.
Give me the roll, will you?
Go ahead, Rhiannon. Maybe speak up just a little bit more so cut through this.
The Shining.
It is like The Shining, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
All right,
It is pretty
continue.
well spotted. But yeah, so they meet this Balthazar character who is he's actually only delighted to see that Gabriel has been sort of taunting him that he's going to hell. He's like, he's actually he's like licking his lips with excitement that he's actually going to go to hell. Like his eyes are glowing, like ooh. So we just see how much he enjoys the downfall of John Constantine.
So where is it going, basically? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Since I haven't watched it
Where's
all.
it going? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
what's the
sorry.
thrust of the plot?
Okay. So basically, the devils or the demons want Rachel Weisz's sister, want Rachel Weisz's character because she's pure, because she's so pure. I think they want her to basically have the devil's child. I think they want her to have the devil's child, and that this spear that was stuck into Jesus' side was going to be the spear that gave birth to the devil's son, which was going to be kind of like his
Usher in the
antichrist.
apocalypse. Yeah, the
Yeah,
apocalyptic kind of thing. Yeah.
that, I think that's the vibe. They take these golden bullets and they use holy water, and they use all of the sort of things that you do uh, to basically send demons back to hell. And so they're kitted out basically for this adventure. Um, but yeah, the killing of Balthazar was very satisfying because he was so evil that it was satisfying. And I love that when movies kill a bad guy in a very satisfying way, but then you feel like you're excited that this character is dying, and so it brings out your shadow basically as a
Mhm.
watcher. Oh wow,
Yeah.
yeah, I enjoyed seeing that guy die.
Yep.
So that's kind of interesting. I really like how the choices the director made in this film, and and I know it like it can be difficult. I think that when there's sort of comic books or there's lore that's that something is based on it, that you can kind of can't really separate it out from what it was before. But I think it because I didn't know um the comic books that it's based upon. I think I probably enjoyed it more because I didn't.
Hmm.
Because
Or
I didn't.
less.
I think I enjoyed it more. Maybe
I
I
enjoyed it
enjoyed
less
more.
because I'm
Yeah.
into the comic book. But I mean, that's not a
But
slight.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. That that somebody who hasn't read the comic book would
Right,
probably
sure.
enjoy it more
Which is
than.
it was
That's my
not
point.
targeted toward the readers of the comics. It was not marketed to readers of the comics.
I like the movie, but I uh, I loved it when Peter Stormare came up at the end, but
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't quite love the whole thing. And then I liked it just enough to get the DVD, and I listened to the commentary, which I love to listen to. And the commentary track went into all the stuff about Constantine from the books and the storyline. And
Mhm.
at the end of the movie, I loved the movie a lot more, knowing about all the back story of the Constantine's books, which I didn't get the first time I saw the movie. So yeah.
It's a bit daunting to adapt that. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen the movie and you telling me about it, it's very convoluted. So somebody who wasn't vibing with this, I don't think would get into this movie
Yeah.
unless they just love the cinematic quality or they just wanted to see how it compared to the comic or whatever, you know. But as far
Well,
as
I
like
think
on a storytelling basis, it just sounds needlessly convoluted.
well, I think ultimately what the point is used they I think what was happening is that the demons were originally trying to use Angela's sister and her abilities. She was unique, and that they could if they could use her to basically open up a pathway for them to escape from hell.
Okay.
And then she killed herself. So the next target, sister,
So I got
because
all
if they
that
can,
part.
yeah, so that they can get sister, then they can do it. Well, the point of that being Balthazar is Lucifer's half-breed son, and
Okay.
he thinks this is a way that he can basically defeat his dad and all that, and can assume his role as the throne of hell, I think, if
Okay.
I remember right. So that's the idea. And then it turns out Balthazar is just a bitch. And, they take him out, and because Gabriel has actually been pulling strings back there trying to cause all of this conflict. It's like she's wanting conflict between heaven and hell and all that. Gabriel's got their own plan. And so, yeah, you've got plan upon plan upon plan. And then ultimately, there at the end, Lucifer kind of says, hey, cut all this shit out. We're done with this, and shuts it all down.
Where does that leave
Yeah,
Constantine?
yeah. I think I don't know, but I think I remember like the devil pulling out, because he went to save and Angela. Basically, God actually wanted to pull him into heaven, but then the devil was like, "No, you don't," and he ends up taking out his cancer and giving back
Mm-hmm.
his life or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
he grants him one more thing, because what you're supposed to gather from early on in the movie is that Constantine's soul is Lucifer's. Lucifer has a hold on his soul.
Yeah.
But because of the sacrifice that Constantine has to make, because to resolve this, he has to kill himself. That the ultimate sacrifice, right? And that
Mm-hmm.
and that overrides Lucifer's hold on his soul. So he starts to rise. So Lucifer is like, I'm not losing Constantine. So he grants life back to Constantine to keep him out of heaven, because he knows he's going to screw up again and I'll get him back, kind of a thing. That's kind of what is happening there.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and then in the end, you know, Constantine's trying to clean up his act, trying not to smoke, and because now the cancer's gone, he doesn't want to bring
Chewing
it back.
nicotine gum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he's got a new lease on life, and he's going to try to stay out of hell. Basically, is the impression you're left with.
Well said, Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Anyway, I love that movie. I could watch that
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I absolutely did enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for explaining it to me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I
because
think
Because I think it, again, as an adaptation, I think it's pretty flawed. Because all that information you just said was very easy for me to read in any issue of Hellblazer, but hearing y'all talk about it, I'm having to parse it a lot harder than I should have to be. Because I'm entering into an adaptation that's trying to kind of weave in and out around things and still make sense. And I mean, to me, it doesn't feel like it coheres. But maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to watch.
Well, I can say the first time I saw it in a theater, yeah, I had that experience. It's only when I had was like, I think I liked that, so I wanted to watch it again.
Yeah.
And then it was like, yeah, I do. I like it. And then I'll watch it again, and it's like, it's one of those that benefits, I think, from watching more repeatedly. I think you lose that, because I think some movies, there's so much happening that if there's not a really clear line narrative, you can get a little lost in all of the.
That's true. I only watched it twice, and I think you probably watched it 4 times, 5 times.
At least, yeah. I mean, over the years, it's like, I'm just saying, it's like there's sensory overload sometimes, and I'll realize I don't think I caught that, and so repeat viewing sometimes on some movies, it benefits, because then you're not caught up in all of that. Now you're able to maybe focus in on the dialogue.
Well, you can enjoy you can enjoy it cinematically and not worry about all that.
Yeah.
I think my concern is if we're going to review the stuff, it might make no sense to people watching it. And I'm not saying my reviews are all that coherent either. I'm just saying I didn't know where it was going, and I feel like
that's
somebody watching is going to be like, "What's going on?" And maybe that's the movie, not you, Rhiannon. That's what that's the point I'm trying to make.
I mean,
okay.
But I think that's the experience of it. I do think there is a little bit of a chaotic experience when you're watching it. I think I think intentionally to some degree,
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, not everything has to make sense in cinema anyway.
But I wanted to ask Rhiannon, what did you think about the portrait of hell? Like when we get into hell, what did you think about that? Because I thought it was
everything's
really effective.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I felt like the demons were like something out of Hieronymus Bosch. They were really like freaking intense. They were creepy.
Yeah,
everything was
burning. Yeah, it was like Hieronymus Bosch and Goya mixed together.
It was like a painting. It was like a really hot painting.
Yeah, and you almost can kind of feel the heat and the it just, I don't know, I really like the feel.
It's very visceral.
Yeah. What's that old Mario Bava Hercules movie where
Hercules in the Haunted World?
That one. There's some aspects of that as well, of the haunted world from Bava. It's like there's a whole lot about that experience when he gets into hell that was very unnerving to me, and it stays like a cool, disturbing experience when I watch it.
Descent into the underworld.
So when Rachel Weisz's character, when Angela goes there herself to see that that's where her sister was, that's when we feel it then from her perspective, as well as a Catholic, as well as oh my God, that's real.
And I forgot about this. And there's it's like the hell has it's like a distorted version of the world around us, like the buildings are there and the roads are there, but they're not quite right.
But everything's burning. It's like a dream, like a really bad dream.
Exactly, which is what Bava's underworld always felt like to me. It's like a dream. It feels like a dream.
Yeah, Descent into the Underworld is an archetype, obviously. Dante, but also Orpheus, and
And Eurydice.
the movie Orpheus is just one of the best I've seen. Of course, they're not going to hell; they're going into the underworld of death.
Right.
And it's funny, when I was watching Twin Peaks: The Return, in the next to last episode, Gordon and Dale and Diane, they leave the other characters and they like go downstairs and they go down this hallway and they start to go into this weird kind of area. And for some reason, I felt the same way I did when I watched John Cocteau's Orpheus. And I thought, is it just me? And then I read an interview with him and he said, that's exactly what I'm trying to do, evoke. And, you know, even though the imagery is spared, it's just the mood of you moving through this kind of dreamlike world. And I mean, I don't know of anyone who can do that better than Lynch, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In my humble opinion.
That's
But
true. That's because he's really into the collective unconscious, and
yes,
he's a true surrealist. Surrealists,
yeah, he taps into the dream world.
Exactly, that's what it was about. And I think he's the American surrealist. Capital T, capital A, capital S. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I don't know anybody else who comes close.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I know you're big in him, Chris.
Yeah.
I love that, Keith, that you watched that film, that you loved Constantine, that you enjoyed it yourself too, and that we could say we could actually explain the plot together. I enjoyed that.
Right.
Yeah, I like that synergy. I
appreciate that.
Yeah,
sure.
thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. So, anything else? Anybody else want to talk about this film, or anything pressing on your minds? Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And we will go ahead and wrap this episode up. And I don't know, Justin, didn't you want to tell the audience something? You were mentioning it to me earlier, but can't remember what it was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I can recall it now. Yeah, so everyone watching, please remember, it's crucially important to like and subscribe. Subscribe to see more videos like this and like those that you enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. We will have more Demons and Devils coming at you very soon. Take care. Bye.
And it's true that we cannot see that far behind. If we looked all the way in the past, we'd go blind. In the night, from the stars as they've all lived their lives, and the light that they gave as they burned and then died.